Wonder Guard is the best ability in the entire Pokemon series. This ability has the insane effect of granting complete immunity to all attacks that aren't super effective. The only Pokemon who gets this ability, however, is Shedinja, who is designed around the gimmick. This Pokemon only has a single point of HP, meaning it will faint instantly to any residual damage. It also faints in one hit to any super effective attack, which there are plenty of. These significant shortcomings were designed to balance the absurd power of the ability. But what if any Pokemon could just get Wonder Guard? How broken would that be? With hacks, this is possible, and there is a metagame where playing around Wonder Guard users is a central concept. In the format Balanced Hackmons, certain overpowered abilities are banned from being used on hacked Pokemon, Wonder Guard being one of them. But in pure Hackmons, nothing is banned at all. Any Pokemon can use any ability or move they like, with no restrictions, no matter how powerful. The most popular pure Hackmons format is Gen 7 pure Hackmons. In Gen 7, you have the most options for such a format possible, with all of the Mega Forms available, most of Pokemon's most powerful moves, and even Z moves, which you can use without needing a Z Stone. Wonder Guard is of course the most common ability in the game, and the metagame completely centers around it. But the way people abuse Wonder Guard and play around it in this format might surprise you. Let's take a look at the Wonder Guard metagame of Gen 7 pure Hackmon. Subscribe to the channel quickly for your own benefit. Thank you. The idea a lot of people come up with when they think of Wonder Guard strategies in Hackmons is to use a fire type with the move burnup. Burnup is a move that when used will turn a fire type Pokemon into a typeless Pokemon. A typeless Pokemon of course has no weaknesses and is theoretically invincible to all moves if you give it Wonder Guard, right? Well no, not exactly. This is a common noob trap in pure Hackmons that is actually very easy to counter. You see, because Wonder Guard is so central, some of the most common attacks that you will see in Hackmons are moves that ignore the effects of abilities, such as Sunsteel Strike and Moongeist Beam. These powerful 100 base power attacks can actually attack through Wonder Guard, ignoring the immunity effect because they ignore all abilities. A typeless Pokemon is actually pretty bad at withstanding these attacks, as they will deal powerful neutral damage. Some more attacks that can hit Wonder Guard Pokemon include Photon Geyser and some of the Z moves like Light That Burns the Sky and Searing Sunrays Smash, although it's worth noting that the Z moves only have 1 PP, so that will only work once. Wonder Guard Pokemon are also vulnerable to being statused, which is another common way to deal with them, and these typeless burn-up fire types will be vulnerable to that strategy as well. Another common way that people think of to abuse Wonder Guard is to take an electric type Pokemon who only has one weakness to ground, give it an air balloon, granting an immunity to that one weakness and creating an impervious Pokemon with Wonder Guard. This idea is a bit better than the burn-up idea because at least it doesn't require you to use a move to achieve your invincibility, but this strategy comes with its problems as well. Electric types at least resist Sunsteel Strike, which is nice, but all of the other attacks that hit through abilities will very easily threaten electric types and also pop the balloon, and after the balloon's popped they are vulnerable to ground type attacks too. What's also interesting is that one of the most popular ground type attacks in Hackmons is Thousand Arrows, a ground type attack that has the effect of bypassing flying type immunity to ground type. So Thousand Arrows can just hit a balloon electric type anyway. For this reason, the way that people abuse Wonder Guard is a bit different than what you would expect. Instead of trying to create a Pokemon impervious to as many types as possible, you should actually use a Pokemon that resists all the moves that can hit through abilities or is immune to them. For this reason, the most popular Wonder Guard Pokemon in the metagame is actually Mega Audino. In most Pokemon metagames, normal typing is not very exciting, but in Hackmons, normal is one of the best types in the game because it's immune to Moongeist Beam, one of the most common moves that exists to bypass abilities. Mega Audino has a normal fairy typing, which means it is also not weak to fighting like other normal types, which makes it a perfect fit for a Wonder Guard Pokemon. Mega Audino is weak to 2 types, Steel and Poison, which is a little bit rough. Sunsteel Strike is a common attack, which can hit Mega Audino super effectively, and Poison type attacks are occasionally seen on threats like Mega Gengar. But what's nice about only having these 2 weaknesses is that they are very easily covered by teammates. If you just put a Steel type on your team, they are immune to Poison and resistant to Steel. So Mega Audino plus any Steel type is a fantastic combo. Mega Audino is also vulnerable to getting hit by Photon Geyser and Light That Burns the Sky, which can bypass bypass Wonder Guard, but luckily this is also one of the easier Wonder Guard breakers to cover. Dark types are immune to Psychic, so just having a Dark type on the squad patches that up. On top of this, Mega Audino can stomach Photon Geyser. It's very bulky with fantastic defensive stats. So this makes Mega Audino a fantastic candidate for Wonder Guard. All of its weaknesses and vulnerabilities are very easily covered by teammates that aren't even difficult to fit on teams. And the type combination is kind of perfect here because of that Ghost immunity, which is so valuable, making Mega Audino strictly better than mono fairy types for this role. Some Pokemon that are similar to Mega Audino that can be used for Wonder Guard as well are Meloetta and Oranguru, two Pokemon with normal Psychic typing. These Pokemon both have normal typing as well, and they are both normal types not weak to fighting because of the complementary Psychic typing. What's nice about these guys is that they actually resist Photon Geyser and light that burns the sky because of their Psychic typing. Unlike Mega Audino, they're also immune to poison type attacks since they're not super effective, and they're a bit better at taking Sunsteel Strike, which they're neutral to rather than being weak to. Both of these Pokemon have impressive defensive stats too, making them pretty nice Wonder Guard users. Both of these Pokemon are weak to Dark and Bug, which has its problems, as Dark especially is a very common offensive type, with moves like Power Trip and Knockoff being common, but this is a valid choice for a Wonder Guard user as those types can also just be covered by teammates. Another one of the absolute best Wonder Guard abusers in the game is Mega Slowbro, funnily enough. Water Psychic typing happens to be perfect for this, as it offers a resistance to Sunsteel Strike and a resistance to Photon Geyser and light that burns the sky. Although you are weak to Moongeist Beam, Mega Slowbro and Mega Audino complement each other perfectly. Mega Audino is immune to all the things that threaten Mega Slowbro and vice versa. Mega Slowbro also has absurdly high defensive stats and can shrug off even some super effective hits. It doesn't really care about getting hit by U-turn because the damage is minuscule. My personal favorite Wonder Guard abuser in this format is Alolan Muk. Much like the electric type idea, you put a balloon on Alolan Muk, it has no weaknesses and is impervious to all damage, unless they use 1000 arrows. But what's nice about Alolan Muk compared to the electric type balloon idea is that Alolan Muk is immune to Psychic, making it sturdy against Photon Geyser and light that burns the sky. Alolan Muk also has a poison immunity. Toxic is a way to bypass Wonder Guard users and threaten them with status. Alolan Muk is not worried about all that. Although 1000 arrows is common, Alolan Muk has the benefit of being immune to Bone Meringue, which is another common ground type attack that is used in Hackmons. Bone Meringue is used to bypass Focus Sashes, which are a commonly used item here, since it hits twice. So Alolan Muk can still be useful for the ground immunity provided by Air Balloon. What's also nice about Alolan Muk is that it really shrugs off Moongeist Beam. Although Moongeist Beam can hit Alolan Muk, your resistance to it and solid special defense offer significant counterplay to this popular move. Some other good Wonder Guard abusers include Ash, Greninja, and Mega Gyarados, who have a well-suited typing to the role with Water Dark, they're immune to Psychic, they resist Sunsteel Strike, and Moongeist Beam. It's kind of perfect, this typing actually. These are more offensively oriented Pokemon, so they can utilize their immunities for opportunities to set up Shell Smash and Sweep, which is very good. And weaknesses to Bug and Fighting can be easily covered by just about any other Wonder Guard user. There are many more examples of Wonder Guard abusers in this format that honestly are too many to name here. There is actually a separate viability rankings just for Wonder Guard, and that just proves how central the concept is. There are so many Pokemon that can abuse it that it has its own ranking within a ranking. And having Wonder Guard on a surprise Pokemon where it's unexpected can be a great strategy to earn free turns. The way this metagame centers around Wonder Guard is pretty interesting in my opinion, and it is kind of fun to build teams around this, creating the most broken combination of Pokemon to complement each other and achieve invincibility. And all the different ways that you can bypass enemies trying to be invincible is fun as well. Who is your favorite Wonder Guard abuser in the format, folks? Mine is Alolan Muk, because it's funny that he's here, honestly. But what about you? Let me know down below in the comments, and thank you for watching.